In this video, I'm going to show you how to add characters inside cars in your videos using TrackMed. Hey, what's going on everyone? My name is Ali, and in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to animate cars and make them look realistic. And additionally, we'll show you how to mask characters and make them look like they're inside cars. So you have a more engaging car than just using static images, because I've seen a lot of people using car images without animating their wheels, and it's just, kind of looks static. And we want to create that kind of a dynamic feel to make your videos more engaging and captivating to your audience. And before we dive deeper into this, I have an example that I want to share with you. Let's go ahead and watch it and come back, start creating.
Shall we?
Let's go.
I hope you like the example. And by the way, this scene is part of my previous tutorial that I created to show you how you can make characters walk smoothly and enter or exit door rooms. So this will help you create more dynamic doors to make characters enter or exit door rooms and interact with your backgrounds than just using the static backgrounds, just to make your whole scene more dynamic and engaging to captivate your audience. I'll leave a link to that tutorial on the top right, so you can go ahead and click it and watch it, or you can wait until the end of this video and I'll leave it on the end screen so you can click it and feel free to watch it and follow along. And I promise you're going to learn a lot of techniques in that tutorial. And without further ado, let's dive right into our example today and show you how you can easily have characters inside cars and animate cars to make these cars look more realistic when you animate them. But first things first, we need to know, where can we find car images? Well, this is so easy. When you go to your media files on the top left corner, you can click on the Victisi icon. And then what you want to do next is simply click on the PNG to get all the transparent images. And you will need to click on the open gallery at the bottom. And in order for you to get bigger screens to be able to see better and do your search, then we can use the search bar and type in car, then we can hit enter and wait for the results. And as you can see, we have variables of cars in different styles, 2D and 3D. And what I like about this is that Victisi offers cars in different angles. So not only can you have cars drive sideways from left to right or vice versa, but you can see that we have cars in different angles that allows you to create different angles in your scenes. And this will really take your videos to the next level, make them more unique than everybody else. And once you're done with that, searching for the car, this is the image that I use, by the way. And you can see here we have, multiple angles of the same car. And if we keep scrolling, we will find a lot more than that. So again, feel free to use all this stuff because this is totally free and it's part of CS's library, where you can locate images and start using them in your projects. Next, I'm going to start by removing all this stuff and start from scratch. So I'm going to ungroup this, and I'm only going to remove the car from the image, and then we can start creating. So first things first, I'll go back to my media file, and then I'm going to grab my car right there. Next, I'm going to flip this car, but it's up to you how you want to have the car drive, from left to right or right to left. It's up to you. But I'm going to flip it. So I'm going to do that by going to the settings on the right panel and find where it says properties. Click that and simply choose or find where it says flip. And then I'm going to flip it horizontally, just like this. And now I have my car ready. Next, I'm going to make sure it's in the right size and then place it where I want it to be, like this. And then the car is going to start from the right side, then it will drive to the left side. So I'm going to extend the car image in the timeline. And then the first thing I would like to do is have characters look like they're sitting inside my car, right? I'm going to grab the 3D creator characters because these guys can rotate 360. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab Tom right here, and then I'm going to change the action from idle to sitting. So I'll go to the action list, click on action 1, and then find where it says sitting right there. And I'm going to need to click on the sitting button that shows on the character's track to be able to disable start and disable end. That way we make our characters sitting the whole time from start to finish. Next, I'm going to extend the character all the way until the end to make sure this is lined up with all other layers in the timeline. And then I'm going to select my character, click on the rotate icon that shows above the character, so I can rotate my character in the right position or angle, exactly how I want, just like that, and then we're good to go. Next, we want to resize your character. And by the way, you can have two characters just like I had in mine. You just need to add another character And then this way you can have the driver, and then the other character would sit right next to the car driver, right? So once you resize your character just like this, make sure your character is in the right proportionate, just like that. Next is our mask that we need to create using track mat, or you can also use the typical way of masking. That's totally fine. So what I'm going to do is I will start by creating my mask, and then I'm going to take my character away just for now so I can go ahead and create my mask. And in this one, I'm going to use the pen tool. So we can easily use that by clicking on the plus sign that shows on the top left, right next to the left panel right there. And then we can click on the pen tool, or we can activate it using the shortcut that is Shift and the letter P to activate the pen tool on Windows. It might be the same, or Control, not Control, I'm sorry, it's Command, I think, or Shift. I'm not really sure because I don't have a Mac device. It should show you on there. Anyway, let's just start by creating our mask. So the first thing I'm going to do using the pen tool, it's so easy, by the way. All I'm going to do is I'm going to use my mouse, zoom in on the image, and then I will just add dots to create my path. And then that way I can create my mask exactly how I want. So you are free to have your mask not covering the entire window, because your character is only going to be on the left side of the window, on the right side, I'm sorry, of the window. So you can just, connect your path from here, or you can go around the left mirror of the car and then create your mask that way. But I'm going to show you that just in case you want to do something like that. It's so easy. You just have to create or keep adding more dots to create your path just like this. And this is how easy you can create your mask. And then you can easily just make adjustments on the go. And from there, we need to create a curved line. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to add a dot in the middle right here. And then I'm going to add another dot right next to the first one that I began. And then in order to make that line curved and create a Bezier, I'm going to need to double click in the middle of that path line like this. And this will create a Bezier with a handle that allows me to curve the line or path line, as you can see, so we can, easily draw our mask exactly how we want. And if once we're happy, we can just do the same thing on the other one right here, double click in the middle to make that, to create that Bezier, and then be able to curve the line just like this. And then we are good to go. When you're done, what you want to do is simply find where it says connect shape right there above the timeline on the right side. You do that, and then this is where your mask. Next, it's important to go to your settings and then change the border width from 3 pixels to 0 pixels, because we don't want to have any borders around the image. And then when you're done, this is going to be our mask. And all we need now is to extend the mask layer until the end. We may want to right click and rename that guy to stay organized and make sure that we know exactly what we're working with. So I'm going to call this Tom mask right there, or window mask, or name it whatever you want. And then now here's my my character, right? Once we got that covered, now we need to just select our character, and then I'm going to go to settings and find where it says track mat, and I'll simply open the drop down menu, and I'll find where it says, the Tom mask, the one that I created right there. And then I'm going to need to click on or change the type from Luma to Alpha so I can see my character in there. And the reason I'm using the track mat instead of the typical way of masking, because you can see I have the option to select my character and change the position of my character wherever I want, right? So I can play with the size of my character. I can play with the position of my character freely without having to worry about where my mask is, because I created my mask layer and it's right there above the character in the timeline. And I'm free to position my character and resize my character exactly how I want. That was basically the reason why I did that. So that was the first thing I did. The second step is to animate the wheels of our car. So how do we do this? We're also going to use the pen tool. So I'm going to go back to the plus sign and then activate the pen tool. And then we're going to start with the left wheel right here. So we're going to draw a path around the wheel to create our mask. I tried using the circle shape, but it didn't work because the circle was not a fit. So this is why we're using the pen tool. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to start by clicking with my mouse to create my path lines. And I'm going to have my starting point on the left side of the wheel. Then I'm going to add another dot on the top or above on the top of the image right there. And then I'm going to create another dot on the right side right here. And finally create another dot right here at the bottom. And then I want to add another one really close to the first one right there. So you can see we have this shape, but we need to turn this into a rounded shape so we can create our mask. So just like I taught you, we need to activate the Bezier. How? We're simply going to double click on the middle of the line right here to be able to make that line curved. And then we can take it from here. Now you can see it's not perfect, but the cool thing about this is that you can grab the handle from any direction, look, or from any side right there to adjust the curved line for your path, just like this. And then you are good to go, right? All you have to do is just keep adjusting and fine tuning your curve. And then when you're done, you just want to go on to the next one, double click on the middle right there. So this is much easier, by the way, instead of just adding a lot more path points to create or connect your shape at the end. It's just easier to use the Bezier to create that shape right there. And at the end, you're going to have a perfect mask for your car. All right. And then when done, you do the same thing for the other one right here. Double click to create a Bezier or activate the Bezier to change this to our curved line. And then we can just adjust the curve angle of our lines right like this. And then finally go under the last one, double click on the middle of the line right there to create a Bezier again right there. And then we can adjust that right here. I think we're going to adjust the final one right there. And then voila, now we are good to go, I think. Let's take a look, get a closer look and make sure that we are good to go. All right, now we need, okay, once we're done, we just need to click on the connect shape again, right? Right here. And it looks like I automatically connected it without filling the color of the shape. So if that happens by accident, you can simply go to settings and open the color settings and simply grab the second circle of the transparency. And then that way you can, you're gonna have your shape. But again, don't forget to change the border width from 3 pixels, make it 0, just like this. And now that we have this covered, we don't need to go and create the same thing for the other wheel, but instead, to save our time, we're just going to make a duplicate of that one and drag it onto the other wheel right there. And now we can simply just drag these guys and line them up with our layers in the timeline. And then we need to create some masks, right? So first of all, we need to have a duplicate of our car image twice. So we're going to go back and then click or select our car image. And we need to make a duplicate by hitting the control and the letter D on our keyboard to make 2 duplicates. You can also click on the duplicate button above the timeline to make a duplicate of your image in the timeline. And then once we're done, we're going to create some or mask layers, right? So we have this image. The first one is basically the left wheel. So we're going to select that along with one of the images right here of our car images right here, like this. Select both of them, and then we're going to right click, and then we want to mask. Now we have our mask created, and then we need to select our second path right there along with our other car image like this, and simply right click and choose mask. And now we have our masks ready, right? So this is the right wheel, and then the other one is the left wheel. So right now we need to animate the wheels, right? And so we're going to decide on when do we want that to happen. So let's say I want to start by moving the car at 2 seconds, right? So I'm going to grab my playhead and have it start at 2 seconds. Then I'm going to select my first wheel right here. And I can go ahead and go to actually click on add animation above the timeline to add some keyframes first. So we're going to do rotation, and easing is going to be linear for both in and out. And then now I have my keyframes. I can simply drag my second keyframe to wherever I want. Basically, is to slow down the movement of the car or speed it up. It's up to you. And then make sure your second keyframe is selected. Then you're going to go to settings and then find where it says properties. Click that. And then we're going to change the direction or the rotation angle of your car. So of the wheel. So we're going to click on or find where it says rotation. Again, we're going to change this value from 0 degree to negative. It's going to be negative 740 so that the car moves forward like this. There you go. All right, cool. All right, we're good to go. I think, we can also save our time. So instead of that, actually, I can go ahead and delete this one and I can duplicate the animated wheel and then, and then do it that way. So I can just click on that, duplicate the image and simply drag this one on the other wheel right here. And then I'm going to have two wheels basically moving that way. Pretty cool. All right. Now, once we're done, this is what we would like to do. We want to make sure that we select all our layers, right? Everything but the background. So we're going to go in there right here, select everything. And then we want to right click and group these guys right here. And at the point where the car is about to start moving, this is where we're going to create our animation for the whole thing together. So what we can do now is we can click on add animation above the timeline. Easing is going to be linear. Properties will be position. And then we can select the second keyframe. Maybe we can just drag it a little bit forward in time. And then we can make sure it is selected. And then with our mouse and keyboard, we can hold the shift key and drag the car to the left side like this, right there. And then we can just go back and then have a look. And there you have it. This is how you can make cars, drive from one direction to another. You can slow this down, like I said, by extending the keyframes, dragging them away from each other like that. And then we're going to have a more slower movement of the car. So you can actually do that. But here's what happens. You notice that the car wheel stopped at this point. The reason for that is because our keyframes ends exactly right here. So we need to make sure that the position animation keyframe is lined up with those keyframes right here. So we need to have our playhead right there on both keyframes and go back to the main timeline. Then we drag our second keyframe to where our playhead is at, and then everything is lined up now. We can go back, and then here we go. This is how you can make cars drive from one position to another. Additionally, I want to share with you, because somebody has asked about loopable backgrounds. So I have uploaded backgrounds for you in my Google Drive folder. Let me show you what they look like right here. So these are panoramic images that you can use in your videos in order to create loopable backgrounds. And, you can see they're already wide, but you can duplicate the background and then you can flip it and then have them, right next to each other and group them up together. Then you can create your position animation to create that loop animation for your background. I can show you that real quick if you want to. So let's just go ahead and find this. I have it in my folders right here. And then let's just find that, images, and there you go. All right, let's grab this image into our project right here, grab it in there, right there. So this is gonna be a panoramic image. So I'm gonna zoom out and you can see how wide the image is. If I wanna make it wider, that's totally fine. Like I said, all I have to do is simply duplicate my image by using the control and the letter D on my keyboard. And then I'm gonna need to flip the image. So I can go to properties, and then flip it horizontally. Then I can drag this image to the left side and make sure it is perfectly lined up with my other image right there, right here. There you go. And we're good to go. Next, now we can select our images. We can extend them in the timeline if we want to, just like that. And then I can group these images like this. And then we can have the image basically start from the very right side and perfectly lined up with our canvas from the right side, right there. And from here, I can create a position animation. So I'm going to click on the add animation above the timeline. I'll use position. Easing is going to be linear for both in and out. Then I'm going to drag my second keyframe, let's say until 20 for now. And then I make sure it is selected. Then I can drag my image all the way until the right side like this. And then now if I go back to the very beginning, this is how the image is going to look like. So this is how you can create loopable backgrounds. So again, I'll leave a link to the images I have uploaded for you in my Google Drive folder where you can use them. And just to show you where did I get these images from, I simply just went to freepik.com, or my go-to website, to find illustrations and images. So all I did was simply type in city street illustration, and then I hit enter. And then in order to get the panoramic images or the wide images that we were looking for, you will need to look on the left panel of the website and then find where it says orientation and simply choose panoramic. Then you can just keep scrolling or go through pages until you find a perfect image that you want to work with. And be sure to either if you're going to be a subscriber, then you don't have to worry about downloading any of the images available. But some images do have this crown icon on the top left. It means that these are premium images. And if you're not a subscriber, that's totally fine. You can, for you not to be worried about this, you can simply just go to the left panel of the website, and then find where it says license, and simply click on the free icon. This will give you all the free stuff, but the website requires you to attribute their name in your creation in order for you to start using their free stuff. But yeah, other than that, I hope you found this helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.